morning, everybody. Listen, I wanted to show you something that somebody gave me, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, I'm going to share that with my followers because they may need it if you're without lights, or if you don't have a candle or whatever. I want to show you this. This is a jar that holds oil with a screw on top, and that wick that's in it goes all the way down, and it's as big as my thumb. It's like a really big wick. We bought some of these long time ago, maybe 30 years ago, and it said it was a lifetime wick, that wick. And we bought it 30 years ago. We're still using it. We bought it at a drugstore. Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a hardware store. But anyway, I'm going to tell y'all what's in here. It's a nice, cool day today. I've got on a sweater. I'm going to make me a pitcher of tea when my water gets hot. It's not hot yet of y'all's sweet tea. But anyway, I'm going to get that. But anyway, y'all have asked me so many times, Miss Brenda, how do you clean your oil? There's my oil. It doesn't need cleaning right now. I just cleaned it the other day. But anyway, and then what can I do with that oil that I'm throwing away? Because after a while, it gets kind of used up. Well, you can do this. You can do this. Here's what we did. Let me get two things out of this drawer over here, and I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about, okay? This is my junk drawer. Let me get two things out that I want to show you, okay? All right, now I'm going to get it out of a jar. I'm going to teach y'all how to make your own candle or your own outside burner, okay? All right, here we go. Here's what George and I did. We knew somebody that he was a welder, and so we went to him and said, we want some torches for out the yard. And I know that y'all can buy tiki torches and whatever, but I'm one of those long-time girls. Have y'all ever heard of those? That means when I do something, I want it to last a long time. I don't like to go to the store and buy, I think that's why I don't buy paper napkins. One of the reasons, you throw them away. I like real ones that I can use a long time. So, here's, to make this at home, and you probably don't have this jar or that top and all that kind of good happy stuff. You probably don't even have a lifetime wick yet. I don't know if you can order those. I have no idea where you get them now, because I bought mine 30 years ago, okay? But here's what we did. We took some ordinary fruit jars. I would suggest a quart. That's what we used. And I took that quart jar, and I took it to that welder, and I said, I want you to make me something, weld me a container that holds this jar, that has a stick on it, the iron stick that I can push down in the ground. So he made me, it's a stick like that, and it has an arm that comes out and another one that comes down to equal it. So you can put your foot on that and push, and you're pushing two things down at the same time, which keeps it steady from doing all this happy stuff. Anyway, we took a quart jar. Let me see if my water's hot. No. Have I got it on high? Yes. We took a quart jar, and we bought us some lifetime wicks. Then we took this lid here, like that, and this, and George made a hole in this top, just the same size as my wick. If the wick is kind of skinny and flat, well, then you want to make a skinny flat one. You don't want a lot of extra room up there. In other words, you want to be able to push your wick through, okay? So then the wick came in a long piece, like a roll. So we cut the wick the length of this, so that it was down in the bottom of this jar. We put our oil in it. Well, actually, what we put in ours was kerosene. But you could use this vegetable oil over here that I've got. This is used up oil. This oil is too dark to fry in anymore, but it'll light a candle. So you put your wick in. You put your oil in here, or your kerosene, or whatever you're going to use. You've got your wick going through here, and you just sit it on top like that. And then you take this and screw that thing on there, good and tight. And your wick's coming up through there, see, like that. And then this whole thing, you welders out there, sits down in a little round metal iron thing that's got a pole on the end of it that we can push to the ground. And mine, after you push it to the ground, are about that high. That's about how high they are. So that I can refill it with oil when I need to, okay? So, anyway, I know that y'all are it's hot, so I'm going to take my saucer. I'm going to take my y'all sweet tea bag. Just drop it in, y'all. I'm making this for today because I want it. I'm making the decaf. I'm going to drink it all day long today. And then sit it off here for 9 minutes. This just fell off. I want to show y'all how pretty that is. Isn't that a beautiful little towel? Little pumpkins. It's pumpkin season. It's pumpkin season. So anyway, going back to what I'm trying to tell you, because I want you to be able to make these. Number one, don't use a pint jar, use a quart. Number two, find you a welder in town that can make what you want. And let me just show you. I'll just draw a picture real quick of how it's supposed to look, because I want y'all to know how this is. It works perfectly. The welder, you actually take your jar to him. He needs to have the jar, okay? So that he can sit it down in there to make sure that it's holding, okay? So that here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna have the jar like this. And there is there's the lid, like that. Your wick is gonna come out of here like this, and it's gonna be one of those lifetime wicks, okay? And I don't know where you get them. You're gonna have to search that. I got mine 30 years ago at a hardware store, but and he ordered them for me, but I don't know where, okay? All right, here's your quart jar right here. Guess I need something darker. The wick's gonna come all the way down, make it come all the way down to the bottom of your jar like that. Now this wick is never going to use up. It's going to last you your whole life. It is a lifetime wick. Okay, now then, when you take this to the welder, tell him you want this jar to sit, and the thing that he's going to sit it in is going to look like this. He's going to make you a round, all of this will be solid metal like that. Just like that. And it'd be just a scoop bigger than that, so you can sit it down in there, and it'll be round. And on the bottom of it, he's going to have a pole coming out of the bottom like this. And then at the very bottom, he's going to put you another piece of metal coming out like that and down, equaling the same size. So when you get it to where you want it in your yard, you put your foot right there and press down on it, and it'll go, or hammer down on it, whatever the case may be, and that's going to go in the ground. All it'll be showing will be that. He also made a square top, about like that, with a chain that had a little thing right here with a chain hooked on it that went all the way up and was hooked to the bottom of that thing. And why do we have that? So that when you get through using your what you call that thing? Your tiki torch thing, you just pick that up and sit it right on top of that. He even had some little gadgets in there so it wouldn't slide off. And then when it rains, it isn't going to rain in here. It's going to stay dry. And you can have him he didn't charge me hardly anything to make me some. I don't have them now because they're over at the lodge where Walt and Hannah live, and so they use them. But I may have him to make me some more because I like them. So that's what it is right there. And this thing right here holds that. And then you could fill that with, like if your person, whoever you get to make yours, if he could make you about 10 of them, you could have them for when you had parties and stuff like that. I'm timing that thing. You could do all that, and it'd be great. And that would give you a way to use your old oil that you've been frying in. And oil is so expensive, why not just reuse it? I think it's a great idea myself. Hey, have we got to use what we've got? Have we got to use what we've got? What have you done with your old oil? Have you got you a lifetime wick? One that's kind of fat? You want it at least as fat as your little finger. Something kind of like that. All right, so while we're waiting on that, I'm going to turn y'all around, and we're going to go over here to the refrigerator and put us 4 cups of ice in this pitcher right here, because it won't be long. We're going to be doing that up. And I know where to put my ice. I don't have much to put. That's it. That's it. All right. Let's go back over to this side. Y'all see I got my light set up so y'all can see good. We can see good. So when your lights go out at your house, what do? Now, I had somebody to send me, and this is the handiest little thing I've ever seen. They sent me a little lantern-looking thing that has handles on it. You pull up like that and pull, and it lights your house. I mean, it's got a light in it, and it's bright. Then another person sent me this little, it looks like a wall switch. And you just stick it to wherever you want it. I didn't take my paper off of mine because I wanted the paper to be on there because it had a little hole, and you can just hang it up wherever you want to hang it in your house. And sometimes in the early morning, I get up so early, it's dark outside. And so I can't see what I'm putting on in my closet. It's dark in that closet. I can't find my shoes. I can't find a top. Sometimes I think I'm matching, and then I put it on, and I'm not matching at all. All right. Just about time to pour that tea up. Anyway, y'all know that in one of my recipe books, I wrote that story about those red high heels. The time that I went to church, and I had on 2 different high heels. They were both red. I didn't look at the heel part. One had an old chunky heel like that. The other one had a spike heel like that. And the toes of them, one of them was a square toe, one of them was pointed. One of my grandchildren noticed it. Said, "Big Mama, you got on 2 different shoes." And I've been to teach when I had on 2 different earrings, or one thing didn't match another. And it was simply because I couldn't see in my closet. Do y'all have that problem? Is your house dark when you get up in the morning and you can't see? You have to wait for the sun to come up so you can see what you've got on. Well, it happens to me all the time. All right. It's been 9 minutes. I think it has anyway. Let's pour up our tea because I'm literally going to drink this all day long. At the end of the day, today I want this whole pitcher of tea to be gone. I made the decaf. I am not going to put sugar in it today. I am not going to put sugar. I want just plain old tea. I don't want sweet tea. Some of y'all say, well, I can't drink that because it's sweet tea. You got to put your own sugar in it, y'all. They don't ship sugar. All right, here we go. Look how nice, woo, how dark that is. How nice and dark it is. I made a mess. I hope that's not a sign of how my day's going to go. All right, come over here to the sink where I've got a bunch of dirty dishes. It doesn't matter. See my dirty dishes over there? I'm going to get them in just a minute. All right, here we go. I'm going to stir that up. And I am literally going to drink this whole pitcher. And I'm going to drink it today. I need some liquid. I have not been drinking enough liquids yet. And I love tea, so be it. I'm going to get a glass out over here. Y'all turn on around this way. Y'all are just walking in circles today. I really don't have to put ice in my glass because the tea is actually already cold. But I don't know. I don't like to have a tea without ice in it. Unless I'm drinking hot tea. And here you go. See how good and dark it is? It's really good. I want y'all to be serious about this, using your oil. You know what people, the sailors used to use when they were, look at that. The sailors, they used whale oil, whale fat, whale blubber, whatever you want to call it, to do. And I know this. I had a somebody that lived close to me at Pickens County, and he had a bug problem. And let me tell you how he used his old oil, his oil they fried in. And this really worked. I'm telling you, it worked. I saw it as a child and was fascinated with it. He had a big old black pot. It was maybe about, it was a, you know, like a witch's cauldron, iron, okay, iron. And every time he had old grease and motor oil out of his tractor or whatever it happened to be, he'd pour it in that black pot. Well, he took a light bulb and hooked it up to a long extension cord thing to his house. And he came and just let that light bulb hang over that witch's pot. It was about this close to it with that oil in it. And at night, he'd turn it on. Well, all the flies, you know how flies always get in your lamp shades and in your light? Well, those flies would come to that light and start flying around it all which ways, and they'd get too close to that oil that was down in that pot. It was just cold, regular, liquid oil. And they'd kind of go down too far, and they'd get stuck in that oil. Couldn't get out and die. So would all kind of moths and mosquitoes and all this kind of stuff at night. That was his bug catcher. And y'all, it works. You wouldn't believe the bugs that was in that oil. And then he just scoop those off and have some fresh oil for the next night. So, if you live on a farm or you live close to somewhere that has a lot of flies, fix you one of those and have your extension cord to hang that naked light bulb, not with anything on it, down over that oil and make sure it's secure, that it doesn't fall in the oil. I mean, you gotta be safe. And those bugs are gonna come to it that night. And you've got you an automatic bug catcher. So anyway, I'll let y'all go. Make you one of these. Drink you one of these. Make you a bug catcher. We're going to use what we have. I love y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.